Ellicottville Brewing Company, Pumpkinville Latte. 6.5% alcohol. Let's give it a shot. Following suit with the pumpkin, the Oktoberfests. It's coming into the autumn months and the fall months as it's just the style, and Halloween's getting closer, so we just keep the ball rolling here. A buddy of mine who is a friend of mine on Facebook messaged me and recommended this beer specifically, and I said as soon as I find it, I'll give it a shot. I'll try it. I'll review it. Did not think I was going to find it this soon as I did, but I did. And here we go. This beer is very different than any pumpkin beer I've ever tried before. I don't want to say that in a very exciting, pleasant manner. However, I do want to preface this with anything I'm about to say is not as negative as I'm about to say about this beer. This is not your pumpkin spice beer. This is not your pumpkin pie beer. This is something I've never had before. And take that with a grain of salt, because this is going to be a very different style of beer than I've ever had. And my review is going to be slightly all over the place. This tastes like pumpkin bread. And I'm not saying pumpkin roll with the cream cheese if you're from the Northeast or wherever you get your pumpkin roll from. This is not a sweet pumpkin bread. This is like a bread, like a wheat bread, spiced with pumpkin, like pumpkin spice. Not sweet, but just a pumpkin spiced bread. I don't even know if that makes sense. It's not a muffin. It's not a bagel. It's just like a loaf of bread with some pumpkin spice in it. I don't know if that even makes a lick of sense. But however, that's exactly what I get from this beer. It is very, very slightly sweet. It's got that. It's a Pumpkinville Latte. It's brewed with coffee, so you do get that coffee effect out of it. But it's not overly sweet, and it just gives you this wheat bread or rye bread kind of flavor to it. It really feels like when you take a sip of this beer, you're putting a fresh slice of wheat or rye pumpkin bread in your mouth, and it's just so different. And because it's that different, and because it's that unexpected, I really want anybody who sees this review to go out and try this beer and tell me what they think. This is absolutely different, and I really appreciate my buddy for sending this to me and telling me to try this, because I mean, I'm sure if I would have saw this in the store, I probably would have, okay, yeah, I'll get to that. But I made it a priority. If I do see this beer, I'm gonna try it. This is just so different. It's not your pumpkin pie. It's not your pumpkin spice. It's definitely not your Oktoberfest. But I've never had a beer taste like pumpkin bread before, and it tickles me. I've never had anything like this, and trying to think about how to review this is so absurd to me. Ellicottville hasn't really done me over, hasn't won me over in the past. I don't want to say it's doing it now because I really don't know I don't know how I feel about this beer. But Ellicottville just, I don't know, they've been kind of forgettable. All in all, though, my drinkability on this beer, I could probably just do one. It's something that I'm not used to. And again, I'm very picky and choosy on my pumpkin beers. Clearly meant for the October or the fall or the autumn month drinking, the cooler month drinking. On a scale of 1 to 10, though, this is where I get a little confused. I want to give this beer a low score. I want to give it like a 4 or 5. However, I've never had a beer like this before to critique it against something else, to kind of reference and compare and contrast. That being said, using no judgment whatsoever, and this being my first beer that tastes like this, I'll kind of give it a mediocre high score by saying it's a 7. If it was slightly sweeter, like a pumpkin roll bread, if you don't know what pumpkin roll is, it's kind of like a sweet pumpkin bread rolled with cream cheese. And what they do is it's kind of like a sheet of pumpkin bread, and they spread cream cheese on it and they roll it up. That's how you get the pumpkin roll. If it was a sweeter pumpkin beer, I think I would have actually really enjoyed this. However, it's kind of like dry rye or wheat bread with pumpkin spice added. And it's I don't know. It's so confusing. I actually really appreciate this because it's beers like this that why I love doing these reviews. It's so different. It's so out there. It's something you wouldn't think of when you pick this beer up. When I was picking this beer up, I was thinking of maybe like a Starbucks pumpkin spice latte. That's kind of what I had in mind when I first opened this beer. The beer even smells like pumpkin roll. Like it's very pumpkin flavor, but you do get that bread effect, a very, very strong bread effect. But it's very intriguing to me, very exciting, very different. Again, if you see this, I really hope that if you do see this, go try it. Let me know what you think. But all in all, I don't know if I'll be coming back to this. It's very, I think this is an acquired taste beer, but I'm not mad at it. Again, that's Ellicottville Brewing Company, Pumpkinville Latte, Seasonal Ale, 6.5% alcohol.